Listening to the ColbyCheeZe Gaming Podcast, your source for League of Legends news, updates, and discussions. Today is podcast number 24. Hey, what's up, guys? It's ColbyCheeZe. It's Tuesday. Another day, another podcast. Gotta love that day storm. Alright, anyways, I've got a bunch of cool stuff to go over with you guys. There's some interesting League of Legends news out. Lots of competitive stuff over the last 3 weeks to talk about, as well as a few funny videos and some Diablo 3 stuff. Alright, so I'm just gonna go right into it. And so, if you haven't noticed already, during the downtime of when they reset Season 2 and put up the actual normal draft mode, a lot of people really enjoyed that, so they actually decided to keep it. So that's pretty cool. I enjoy the normal draft mode. There is some problems with it, such as people are more inclined to actually leave. So I don't know, maybe they should inflict some type of penalty on leaving a normal draft queue, such as if you were to actually do the same thing. Well, I mean, they do, but I mean, maybe if they made it worse, I don't know. In any case, other than that, I think it's pretty cool because you can go and play with a couple of your friends. Maybe you don't want to actually do a ranked 5s or something, but you do like the draft mode, and maybe you only have a few friends with you. You can just jump right in there and do that and ban out those champions that you don't like to play against and give you some practice to actually go into, solo queue or to rank 5s. It's pretty cool in that regard. So I definitely enjoy it. I had fun playing that with some of my friends. Also, big news for those of you that haven't played League lately, but yesterday Dominion was released officially. Super fun. I've been playing it a lot. I haven't had a time to do my video yet, but I'll have something up here soon enough anyways. And I've seen a lot of crazy strategies being used in Dominion. I think it's really fun. You can go in there for a couple of minutes and you know that no game is going to last more than 25 minutes maximum. Like if it was the most ridiculously close game ever, that's the longest it's going to take. So it gives you a much easier chance. Let's say you only have 30-40 minutes before you have to go do something else. Sometimes you want to play a game of League of Legends and you don't know if it's going to take 50 minutes for a game to finish, so you can't really start one. But in this case now, you can just go jump into Dominion. You know you have time for one match, and then you're all set. So there's been a lot of people with various strategies that they've thought up on how to actually win at Dominion, and a lot of different champions they say have been strong. So what I've noticed is, usually your one-on-one brawlers are going to be really good in this situation, such as Gangplank and Xin Zhao. I've noticed Master Yi used. He's pretty good later on. Vayne, Misfortune seem to work really well also because they're really fast and deal some pretty sick damage also. I actually found that Soraka was probably one of the best champs. I've done really well with her, and the reason for this is because you can pretty much solo the bottom area all by yourself, and the rest, the other 4 teammates can go off and take all of the other points. So you just stay down bottom, level up your Q first, get AP items, and stick by your tower, heal yourself, and Q down all the minion waves. And if people try to attack you, you just kind of kite them, silence them, Q them, and you're really, really strong that way. So I think it's quite viable. You just keep Soraka down bottom the whole time. I know there's other champions that can do well in that role also, but I think Soraka is probably the most viable on the Dominion map overall out of everyone. Also, for the attacking type of setup, you could use someone like Rammus. Rammus tends to work very well also. He can pull people off the tower, and he can also taunt people at the tower, so he could technically defend, but he's more of an attacker with his speed and movement and all that sort of thing. So lots of cool strategies out there that I've seen. I have actually found one that this guy posted up on Reddit saying that he's pretty much won all his matches except for maybe like 1 or 2. And you guys can check that out. It seems pretty viable. Basically, they talk about just having one person always defend bottom, which, like I said, that's what I do with Soraka. And then you have one person who kind of stays at your middle base area and sort of pokes up and down to the top and bottom depending on where he's needed, and then the other 3 are the ones who are always assaulting all of the different points. You can check out this post. It's a pretty long post on Reddit, but it seems like a really viable strategy. I haven't had a chance to actually get with some friends and play it since I have been busy lately, but I was reading it over and it looks very viable and it makes sense to me. So hopefully that would help out some of you guys who are looking for a way to always win Dominion, and winning is always fun. So that's always good stuff. Some other very interesting news that I caught on the forums put out there by Matt Marcoux is that there is going to, well, right now we're actually in a what we call preseason for Season 2. All that really means is that they're going to reset the Team 5's ladder in a little bit. They're not going to do anything to your solo queue, so you can keep playing solo queue and not worry about that. However, what they've confirmed is that they're going to add an actual team-based ELO for 5v5. So rather than you being ranked individually for 5v5, you're going to have, for example, Team Solo Mid or Team CLG as an actual team, and you're going to see them ranked up on the ladder, and that's the way they're going to do it. So that's really exciting. That's what we've been needing for a long time in League of Legends, and I think that's one thing that's going to actually help bring back the 5v5 scene in competitive play on League of Legends rather than just, actual pre-set up tournaments and things like that. So that's really exciting to watch. I found some really interesting videos this week, some kind of funny stuff. This one of them was, I think, kind of done by Double Lift or whatever. He's been doing a lot of these lately, but it's a bunch of fail clips of high elo stuff showing that, everyone makes mistakes, whether you're in high elo or low elo. Of course, some of the mistakes made in lower elo are a little bit sillier, but I think it's a lot funnier to watch people mess up in high elo because people know what they're doing. Usually it's them trying to make some kind of aggressive move and they just miscalculate what they're doing or they get outplayed, and it just makes for some hilarious stuff. Check out this clip, it's really good. It's funny. It's like you never would have thought that you'd get aced by Baron. It's kind of silly if you ask me, but whatever. I mean, people make mistakes and they overestimate what they can do, and that's what happens. The next clip I found is one where Mordekaiser actually runs in and kills about 3 people on his team by stepping over mushrooms. It's probably one of the funniest clips I've seen in a long time. Just another fail clip for you guys to check out. And so it just kind of goes to prove that Morde is still number 1, but just for the enemy team. We got lots of really cool esports stuff happening over the last 3 weeks. Actually, this entire month has been super duper busy for me, and therefore I am kind of going to apologize for not being able to do as many guides and summoner academies and that sort of thing. But I counted up the number of commentaries I did this month, and it was over 45. So hopefully you guys at least got some entertainment out of watching those. I do plan on doing some highlights here very soon. Hopefully even by the end of today, we'll see. But let's just talk about some of the stuff that did happen. We had the 2 Rampage matches, which is the new King of the Hill series by wellplayed.tv. And the first win went to Rock Solid, and then Rock Solid actually got picked up by Team Dignitas. So congratulations to those guys on showing their worth and being such an amazing team and able to beat Team Solo Mid, Team CLG, and all of that, and get really recognized out there. So now they are Team Dignitas. They went on in just this past weekend here, and they beat CLG in the next King of the Hill tournament. So they're going to move on, and CLG not able to hold their ground against them. It was an amazing set of matches, and you guys should definitely check it out. I believe the replays are actually up on wellplayed.org/rampage. You can check it out there. They also have a YouTube, but I'll be doing some highlights of that also later. Now, there is a, SBNC. So the Sound Blaster Nations Cup is now over, and the winner of that ended up being Team Canada. So congratulations to Canada. They're the number 1 nation out of the 6 that played, and then USA came in at a number 2 spot. So it was an epic set of matches. That was a very large part of the casting that I did do for this whole month, and it was really fun. There was lots of cool stuff, and you guys can check out all of the commentaries. I'll have a link down below, but I've got everything all put together, and again, like I said, I'm going to have some highlights of those and recaps for those of you who don't have time to watch every single one of them and just want to see the important stuff that did happen. Anyways, I think I may be taking or trying to take a little bit of a break from casting as much as I have been lately. I want to give some other people a chance to do some casting, but mostly I just want to have a chance of my own to play some League of Legends and work on my solo queue elo a little bit. It's I can play well, but the more or the less practice I have, the harder it is for me to pick the game up and actually consistently do well. So I want to be able to get my solo ranked up there, and then I also want to put out a bunch of guides and more Summoner Academies and a bunch of really cool series for you guys. I know I haven't done one in a while, but everybody has been telling me that they want to see more how not to win in League of Legends series. So I'd like to try and do some more of those. Also, we'll kind of see how it goes. But yeah, I definitely want to do more stuff like that for you guys, since that is kind of what my channel originally was supposed to do. And one thing that I would like to do for everyone, and I have in plans, is I'm actually going to do a video on how to edit clips in Sony Vegas. I've got one that I did a while back. It's in all my descriptions, but I'm going to update it, and I'm going to show you people how to edit videos and do a bunch of cool tricks, as well as how to handle fraps, what kind of computer you're going to need, how to actually do streaming on XSplit and own 3D, and what kind of stuff you need to set up for that. And then I also want to do a video to show people how to get into commentaries and get into esports and some things like that. My goal is I would like to see more shoutcasters for League of Legends who can create videos and who can stream, and I would like to maybe feature some other people on my channel if they want to do some shoutcasts and they do well at it. I'd love for them to do that, and I can get some people into some national ESL tournaments and things like that, and put those videos up on my channel if you guys are into that sort of thing, just to kind of foster the whole shoutcaster community and thing like that, so that I can focus more on that meta content, such as the guides and whatnot. So I don't know, what do you guys think of that? I'm not gonna stop shoutcasting altogether. I just want to lower the number of them that I do, and maybe help some other people learn to do what I've done. Anyways, we got some information on Xerath, which is the new champion that's going to be coming out, and how his mechanics are going to work. Seems really interesting. Something that I don't know if it sounds like OP or if it's going to be really good. We'll have to check it out. But essentially, the way the champion is going to work is he's going to work like a siege tank from StarCraft. So he can go into this immobile state where he can't move while he's using his abilities, and then he just blasts the area from a super long range. And I don't know what the range is going to be. However, sounds like he's going to pretty much do some really sick stuff. So his one defensive ability is something that allows him to, if he hits them with this ability and then follows up with another one, then they will be stunned. So he can blast this area for all his big, huge damage, and I don't know how it's going to work out. It sounds very interesting. Seems like something that would be really fun for people who like using skill shots and using those effectively. I would definitely like to try it out. I'm really excited to be honest. I don't guess that it's going to be out this week. Obviously, today's Tuesday, and we haven't seen that. I don't know. We may see it for this patch, but we'll just have to wait and see how that goes. They may, since the Dominion came out, they may do it next week or whatever. But in any case, I will definitely give you guys my impressions of that as always. Now, the final thing I wanted to talk about with League of Legends today is this cool application that was created to help you change your recommended items. And the cool thing about it is it works both for Summoner's Rift and for Dominion. So you can have a separate set of items, recommended items, that work for Summoner's Rift and Dominion. It's a link here. I'll give it to you. It's called Enigmas Recommended Item Changer. You've been seeing a lot of these pop up lately, most likely, and that's because Riot actually released, I think, some framework or some kind of code that they support that will allow you to do this. So definitely check out this recommended item changer. I think it's really useful. There are some champions that have some really silly recommended items, such as Gragas. They tell you to build them tank, which is just stupid because he's not a tank, and things like that. But in any case, this is a cool little program. Should help you out. That way you don't have to kind of click through random items to find what you need. But that's all for League of Legends today, guys. I want to bring you out some more videos later on some different topics, so I'm going to end it there, and I'll talk about that stuff later. But I did want to mention Diablo 3. I may put out a few Diablo 3 videos. I did get into the beta and tried it out, One thing that makes me a little sad, though, is the fact that they're going to be pushing it back to 2012. Wah, wah, wah. Yeah, I'm kind of sad about that. So the game is actually very the beta is actually very short. You only get to play up until like a third of the way through Act 1. You beat the Skeleton King. He's not the final boss of Act 1. And I think you're like level 6 or 7 when you beat it. So I'm pretty sure you would get up to around level 10 or 12 by the time you beat Act 1. That's just, I mean, I don't know. That's what I remember from Diablo 2 anyways, is by the time I killed Andariel, or whatever her name is, I was around level 11 or 12, I think. So anyways, we'll see how it goes. It's going to be a while before that comes out, so a little bit disappointed. However, the game is super duper fun. I played all the classes already, and I've played the sorceress the most. She's really, really fun, or the wizard, or whatever you want to call it. I think one neat thing is that the way the crafting works is pretty cool. You have a lot of shared space between your characters. For example, you pick up gold on one character, you create a new character, all that gold is now available to that new character. You also have a shared stash, which allows you to place items in that stash, and then you can give it to your other characters at that point. Also, it's cool that you don't have to go back to town to sell all of your items. So there's not a lot of annoying management of your items in your inventory, which allows you pretty much to. The reason for this, I'm saying, is because you actually get a unique item that allows you to sell all the items in your inventory just like right there in the field. You just click on this little cauldron thing, and then sell all your stuff. You can also disenchant items, which makes little crafting things so that you can give them to your little craft guy and make some neato items and things like that. Really cool stuff there, and I think the game has all these small unique features that just really add up and make it very enjoyable. Even though I was only able to get to the Skeleton King, I actually did probably 20 different runs on my sorceress just to try and like find items and try and find new pages to upgrade and train my blacksmith and get the new spells on the sorceress and stuff. So that's what Diablo 3 is all about, in my opinion. I remember playing Diablo 2, and it was all about just doing those bell runs over and over, and it was so much fun. I really enjoyed it. And and then you can make new characters and do the same thing over again and get those characters strong. So I'm really looking forward to it. Unfortunately, it's not going to be out this year, so I'm going to be putting a lot of my effort this year into League of Legends, which I'm sure most of you are going to be happy with that. But in any case, that's all for today. If you guys enjoyed the podcast and you're watching up to now, please hit that like button. It really helps me out more than you know. And push that favorite. So I'll see you guys around for next week, or actually, I guess this week. I have a lot of content coming for you. But for my next podcast, I'll see you around next week. This is ColbyCheeZe, guys. Peace out.